Hello guys and welcome back to our week 4 match of the CPC. Today we are facing my good friend Dylan, you may also know him as Gypsy King, and if you don't know him, he's a phenomenal league battler. Currently in the NPL, he's destroying everyone. He's 9-0 right now. He's undefeated. It's a feat that has never been done before in that league, and it's one of I think it's one, if not the most competitive draft league out there. So yeah, we're facing him today, and that's a tough task ahead. In this league, in the CPC, we're 2-1, so we're sitting pretty nice. We're at the top of our division, but yeah, Dylan again is here undefeated. He's 3-0, and he has a really bulky team. So immediately you can see you see here our two teams. I will go over the two teams first. Short team builder, not too much, and I will firstly go over his team and the ones he brought and he didn't bring. So if you see here, you can see the 6 months he brought. He brought the Ray Nicholas and his Mega Scissor, the Curan Black, the Slow King, the Sylvian, and the Goluk. So the ones he didn't bring were Arcanine, Tangrowth, Drapion, Stunfisk, and Masquerain. So immediately, no Arcanine. That's kind of nice. Arcanine had some match versus me, but not the best. I feared maybe live offensive one could have been scary. Tangrowth, not that big of a deal. Drapion, always nice not to see Drapion, because Drapion is kind of a bit of a threat, but most of all it's my mascot, so I don't want to face my own mascot. Stunfisk the God, he didn't bring it, luckily for me, because it would have looked really bad otherwise. And Masquerain, I'm also was really happy not to see Masquerain, because Masquerain would have meant like maybe sticky webs, maybe some quiver dancing, baton pass things, and yeah, I didn't want to face that potentially. So I was happy not to see those things. And then the things he brought, what I'm looking at is like I thought maybe a defensive core for Nicholas Slow King, one maybe special defensive, one physically defensive. I thought Mega Scissor could be more of a bulky Mega Scissor, could be more offensive Mega Scissor. Didn't know for sure. Curan Black, I thought maybe a Scarf Curan Black could come, but also maybe just more of a bulky Curan Black, because if I don't win coverage on like Nidoking, Curan Black can kind of switch into Nidoking and is then able to stand faster than it. Sylvian could be Specs to try to break my team. Sylvian could be Scarf to try to revenge some things of my team. Sylvian could also be like a bulky variant, I don't know. And Goluk, last of all, most likely he's Stealth Rocker, but also could be a Rock Polish variant. I was really fearing a Rock Polish Goluk, because it like two-shotted my whole team. If he decided to have his bulk, try to win on my team down, Rock Polish Goluk could come in and try to sweep me from there. So that's all about his team. Then you see here my team. I brought the Megardevoir, the Infernape, Latios, Nidoking, Registeel, and Lightbite. The mons I didn't bring were Milotic, Feraligatr, Shaymin, Ninjask, and Electabuzz. Milotic, Shaymin didn't want to bring. They're nice, bulky, but offensive they don't do much, and it was more or less free switch-ins to Kyurem and such things. They just didn't have the matchup. Gator, I also thought Gator couldn't break his team that well, especially with like Mega Scissor, Kyurem, and more of his bulky threats. Tangrowth if he brought it. Ninjask might have come, but yeah, on itself it couldn't do much. Maybe baton pass some things, but yeah, it was just it didn't fit the team, and the Electabuzz also didn't lack the power. So the team I brought, this team is focused on mainly one win con. Depending on how the match goes, some other mons can also be the win con, but the main win con of this team is the Infernape. So I will first go over the Infernape set. The Infernape set is it's a nasty plot variant. It has the Fire Blast and the Grass Knot as the main coverage options. If you see his team, Fire Blast hits like almost everything, except mainly the Slow King. And for Slow King we have the Grass Knot. So if we get a nasty plot and his team we can try to win this game, and that's what we are going for, because also Infernape naturally outspeed his whole team, which is really nice. On the item on Infernape, I decided a long time, I was like thinking Life Orb looks like best with the power output, but I was thinking Life Orb, probably Infernape, to get the Nestplot up, it has to take some sort of a hit, but Life Orb meaning it will just kill itself. You can try to switch around me, that sort of things, didn't want it. So I decided ultimately that I would be mainly clicking my fire type move, and I did some calcs, and the best item to run then was ultimately a flame plate. So I'm a flame plate infinite with fire blast, and I hope I can connect those fire blasts. Then to support the infinite, I have like Mega Gardevoir with hyper voice for HP fire. It's like almost all coverage it desperately needs. Then because he has so many bulky things that can try to recover, I have the taunt. And as last move, if I see from okay, his team is now weakened enough for that infinite sweep, but I can't see where I can set up, I have my Mento or my Mega Gardevoir to help aid the infinite sweep. But yeah, I might try to pull that off. I might try to pull it off without my Mento, because my Gardevoir is also good for other things. Then Latios. Latios is a fairly simple Latios. It's a gold berry because I didn't want to be threatened by Drapion immediately, and it's a defogging one because with my recent trades, Latios is my only reliable defogger and my only a real form of hazard removal at this point in time. And with the potential of sticky webs and such, I really wanted, because sticky webs was kind of a threat for my kind of speedy team compared to his. I wanted defog, so I brought Colbert, Defog, and I just brought some coverage options like HP Fire, Draco Meteor, and Psyshock. Then Nidoking. Nidoking is the main wall breaker, as it most of the time is. I had a hard time figuring out what Nidoking I would bring, but sawing the Rain Nicholas and the Slowking, I immediately thought, okay, kinda need to go with the physical variant again, with the Mega Horn. Earthquake also was nice. I decided to go Fire Punch, because if he's a bulky Mega Scizor, without Fire Punch he kinda can wall me. And as last option, I first thought maybe I will have something for the Kyurem, because it might be the switch in for me. But then I saw, yeah, defensive Sylveon can then kinda wall me, so I also don't want that. So I just ultimately ran Poison Jab, because I thought, why would you switch in Kyurem to into a Nidoking, and if the Kyurem lacked recovery, it was also nice just to damage it with Earthquake, Poison Jab, because it doesn't do 50%. You might think, okay, with Live Up definitely does that, right? But I'm not running Live Up this week. Kinda learned this from my match against Will. With the Mega Horn Earthquake, I get Live Up Recoil. Kinda don't want that on my Nidoking. And ultimately, I most of the time hit a Mon for super effective damage. So Expert Belt was the way to go. It had the nice damage output I needed, and I don't take Recoil. So then Registeel. Registeel is more there as a semi-check to Kyurem and Sylveon. It's max HP, mostly max attack, because otherwise like Kyurem and Sylveon don't even take 50% from Iron Head, and that would be really bad. So it has the Iron Head, it has the Toxic to Toxic it switch-ins, it has the Stealth Rocks because it's the Stealth Rocker for this team. And as last move, I first thought Fire Punch could be nice for the Mega Scizor, but a bulky Mega Scizor, even with almost max attack, I don't even can two-shot a Mega Scizor with Fire Punch. That's kind of pathetic. It also shows Mega Scizor is quite bulky. So overall I thought I don't want to be set up for the mainly, so let me just run Explosion, then I can explode. If he then decides to Swordsdance up, I have some things to punish that, or I can try to revenge him with other mons. Then as my last mon, it was kind of debatable what I would bring, but I was fearing the Masquerain and mainly the Rock Polish Golux so much that I thought Liepard kinda has to come. So I run Taunt and Encore on it. Encore to Encore things in setup moves, especially with the Rock Polish Golux, and Taunt mainly for the Masquerain. My last two moves were kind of debatable, but I was thinking if I get Golux weekend, because yeah, I don't let it set up for free, and I kind of want to pick it off. Sucker Punch can be nice. Also in the last move I thought I could run Gong Shot, Iron Tail, but ultimately I thought Knockoff was the best option. Because Knockoff hit quite a lot of mons, and if he decides to switch in like Sylveon and Kyurem, they lose their item that potentially can be the Scarfed, and that's really nice for the rest of my team. So that's that. I'm kinda rambling on, but we will get into the battle right now. So this battle, I lead off with my Registeel. I want to get rocks up as soon as possible. I want to get his team whittled enough that Infinite can sweep. So if we look at this situation, what do I need for the Infinite? First of all, I need to know what kind of sets he's running, and if he runs a Scarf or not. because a Scarfer that needs to be taken out first and foremost, because Infinite can't outspeed that Scarfer, it can revenge me, and then I need to know what can take the hit at +2. It looks like Ray Nicholas, Slowking, and Sylvian, depending on their stats, might be able to. The other 3 probably are not. So we will definitely have to see about that. So he leads Slowking. I thought, okay, he could try to Scald Burn me, but let me just get my rocks. As he makes a safe switch into his Goluk. I thought here, yeah, he's probably also going to like stay his rocks, but my Lightbite would have been my lead if he let Magical Rain, and also kind of fearing that he would predict a Taunt and go for something like Bug Buzz. I put a Focus Sash on it, so I thought, okay, if he sets up here, probably not, or even if he Earthquakes, he brings me down to my Sash, but he's most likely going for rocks, so I'm putting a hard one into my Lightbite. I also thought, okay, he knows I have things like Encore, so he's probably not going to stay in here. I thought he could switch in a number of things, but it's just nice to see what he brings into this, and to knock off any potential items would also be nice. But he brings in the Scizor, which is nice. I knock it off. I see it definitely has HP investment. I still don't know if it may be more a Spadef Scizor or just an offensive one. But yeah, then I pull a switch out into my Nidoking, knowing he's most likely, he might Bullet Punch me, but more likely he's just going to U-turn out, gain some momentum. So he does that, but he crits me. It's a bit unfortunate. You will see later on. HP on this Nidoking would have been nice, but in the end it probably didn't matter in this match. But also with the crit and everything going on, it was like he can still be some attack investment in his Scizor, but he also can be fully attack investment. So I still didn't really know if he was max attack adamant Mega Scizor, or if he was more just a bit attack investment, because Mega Scizor regularly has a great attack stat and also hits really hard. So he pulls a switch out into Secura. I thought, yeah, he probably goes for the safe Earth Power, but I don't want to switch in like Latios on the Ice Beam or such. So I thought, okay, let me just put out the switch and Rage Steel. Even if he goes for a safe Earth Power, I have a Sugar Berry. I can take 2 Earth Powers with that Sugar Berry definitely, and I can scare him out with Iron Head, meaning he has to, when he comes back in, he has to take rocks. I also can make like a double, predicting like Mega Scizor to come in, or try to Toxic his switch in, because yeah, he probably fears Fire Punch with Mega Scizor, and Mega Scizor is at 50%, so I don't think he would switch that in that easily on Rage Steel. So I go out into Rage Steel, thinking, okay, I can take this. He crits me, and I think, okay, I can still take it, and he gets a crit Spadef drop. So that meaning I'm scared out. I don't know what he's going to do. From the damage, it looked like he could just still be like modest, but he also could be like naive or such. It was yeah, with this roll it said in between those, it could be both, it could be one of those, but it definitely didn't have a boosting item. So I thought, okay, this could be a Scarf Kyurem, because Scarf Kyurem against my team, could definitely see that coming to revenge a lot of things. So I decided to pull a switch out into Latios, knowing it can take any one hit. Also a bit forgetting about Terrafall, but still Earth Power doesn't do much, as he just goes for a safe Earth Power. I scare him out. I just go for a safe Draco here, looking what is the switch in to this, engage the damage, know what do I need in the end game. So he brings in the Ray Nicholas, that takes the Draco Meteor like an absolute champion. So from this damage I immediately see it's Assault Vest, but still, okay, Assault Vest not that bad, but it's most likely Assault Vest, almost max Spadef. So this is a problem for the Infinite, because +2 Infinite with Fire Blast only does around 50%. So I have to get this Ray Nicholas really low before Infinite can sweep. So that I immediately know. Okay, so I pull a double out into Lightbite, probably thinking if he wants to attack me, he will probably go for Shadow Ball, hits the Gardevoir, hits the Latios, and but he makes a nice double, goes out into Sylvia, knowing I might be locked into the Draco Meteor, and also I'm at -2, so I won't do much to it. He reveals to be a leftover Sylveon, really nice for me, meaning it's not a Scarf variant. I put a safe switch out into Registeel, because I know I can kind of take many hits from this. So I believe here I go for a Toxic on the switch hit. He brings in Goluk, thinking, okay, that's not too bad. I'm switching in my Latios because if he tries to set up, I can sack this, and also he's most likely just going for a safe Earthquake, hit almost everything on my team, and I have to get some momentum. So I go into Latios. Here I'm thinking, okay, last time I Draco Meteored, he might go out into Rayniclus again, but I want to keep that low, so I wouldn't mind that much. And also I kind of don't need my Latios that much this game because no sticky webs. I'm mainly proud for defog for that one. I didn't think that this Latios set, other than defogging, would have much of a potential, and I didn't want to defog because I want to keep the Curum low, want to keep his team low. So I just Draco Meteor the Sylveon. Then I'm thinking, okay, with one Psyshock, if it kills me, it's in range of +2 life or +2 Fire Blast. So that's nice. It kills me. Sylveon is in range, really nice. So I bring something that scares out the Sylveon, which is the Nidoking. This point in time, yeah, Earthquake, his whole team is grounded. Earthquake is a really nice safe play, but also Earthquake in Mega Horn has the potential to kill this Slowking, especially after this. I mean, I go for Poison Jab, the safe play, because I didn't. Oh yeah, I remember. I went for Poison Jab because it hits something like the Curum just a bit harder, and also if he decided to stay in with Sylveon, Earthquake was not a kill, so I wanted for sure to kill it, and he's most likely not going to switch in his Mega Scizor, because Mega Scizor dies at this range from an Earthquake. So I went for Poison Jab. Poison Jab into Mega Horn would have most likely killed the Slowking. It might have been a roll, but most likely, but I get a crit. So now for sure it's a kill, but also even with this crit, 42% is just out of range for Poison Jab or Earthquake. I have to Mega Horn. But it also means from this damage, Slowking is the defensive one. And even if it comes back in, it's at 72% minus rock, so it's at around 60%. That means +2 Grass Knot from infinite kills. Slowking is in range, check. So he goes out into Curum on this Mega Horn, and it still did 37%. Mega Horn is a strong move. So it might have been no. I think he would have lived like a Poison Jab, but it was quite risky, a bit of risk on this part. But at this point, I was still thinking, okay, he's most likely a Scarf Curum, meaning, and this is his last switch into rocks, which is really nice for me. So I pull a switch out into my Gardevoir, knowing he's most likely going for Earth Power, Ice Beam. That doesn't two-shot me. I can revenge this, but here he reveals the Roost, so he's a bulky Curum. Also not that bad, because this means Infinite outspeeds it, and +2 Fire Blast just nukes this shit. So also still in range. So for now, I see his team, and it's, except the Rayniclus, everything is in range for my Infinite. So I definitely have to try to set up with Infinite on something, because that could be really hard, because most of his mons have like super effective coverage for me. So we have to try to go for that Infinite Sweep, most likely. Also, Nidoking is also looking pretty threatening if this Curum would have been out of the way, because it outspeeds the rest of his team and pretty much nukes the rest of his team. So that's also really nice and something to keep in mind. And also my Gardevoir is looking like a bit of a threat for him, but he still has that Rayniclus. He switched in the Rayniclus on my Gardevoir, which I don't mind at all, because as you see, this is a 3-shot from here, and he can't one-shot me back. I wanted this Rayniclus to keep it really low, so I Hyper Voice it as a Shadow Boss. He's at 24%, so if he switch out, comes back in with the rocks, it's in range. So everything now is in range. So I'm thinking, okay, he could sack this, he could try to pull a switch, but pretty much everything is two-shotted. So here he goes out into Scizor, and now we're going at the heated moments of the game, because here I'm thinking, okay, the Rayniclus is gone, Infinite is looking really nice. I still don't know what kind of Scizor it is, but with the Scizor, like Bullet Punch is quite obvious, but I could like put a heart into Infinite. I wouldn't do this because I'm a setup Infinite, but normally I could have gone heart into Infinite, could have sacked off my Registeel and gained some momentum from that. So I thought he might Bullet Punch me, he might not, because why would I sack my Gardevoir here if it almost two-shots his whole team? but I think okay, I have other things for his team. This Mega Scissor can also always revenge me. So I could HP Fire to kill, but I am also thinking if he overpredicts, goes for superpower, goes for U-turn, something like that, I can memento on this. And if I memento on this, he has to stay in because his attack goes into nothing, and I can freely go out into infinite and get my setup, and if I connect my moves I can probably win. But he makes a safe play, and the overall good play, he bullet punches me and he kills me. But I still don't know what kind of scissor this is, if this is max attack element or not. So I'm doing some calcs, and I'm also seeing now that my Gardevoir is gone, in hindsight I might have tried to pull out over my Memento on an Ottomon and then went into and then would go out into infinite. I might have tried that, but I also thought that it would be like kind of hard to pull off again. So I thought this would be the best moment for me. So the Memento play didn't work out, but we still have this chance because on the Kyurem, the Slowking, the Sylveon, and the Golok we all probably can set up. But this Mega Scizor doesn't threaten me that much. I kind of threaten him out. So I'm thinking, okay, I can go for a nasty plot here, and if I connect my moves, I think I win this game. But I'm also doing some calcs, and I think I can live like best he would have hit me with is like superpower into bullet punch. If he's max attack element, that has a really great chance of killing me. If he's not max attack element, that probably won't kill me. And also he could be offensive, but he can still be a defense variant. He can also just be U-turn with an SD variant. Is a bit weird, but I didn't really saw why he would run superpower versus me, because Rage Steel, as I mentioned, if he runs this bulky enough to take 2 5 punches, is just set up for me. For him, I mean. So I'm going to take my chances. Are we going to win, or are we probably going maybe to lose? Maybe we can pull it off with our other 3 months, but our other 3 months have a fairly hard matchup versus the Cure. So I go for the nasty plot, he stays in, he goes for the superpower, and yeah, that's max attack element Mega Scizor. And that's also quite a nice roll for him with the superpower, so bullet punch is definitely going to kill. I'm thinking I could switch out. I have one switch into rocks anymore, but yeah, he can play around this and then bring in his Mega Scizor to revenge me. So I thought, okay, that doesn't make any sense. So let me just go out into Nidoking here, and here comes into play what we first of all, the crit on the Nidoking, because bullet punch does 40 to 50%. Now it doesn't because he has superpower, but if he would needed to revenge me with this Mega Scizor, I'm now kinda in range, but I wouldn't have been if not for the crit. But we will see if that matters or not. So he just stacks off his Slowking here, everything gets 2-shotted, the crit doesn't really matter. The Nidoking is a crit magnet, but doesn't matter that much. He goes out into Kyurem, it's at 39%, and here I'm thinking he's most likely just going to finish me off, so I'm just going to sack my Registeel, then potentially go out into Liepard, try to scare it out, and maybe win from there. In hindsight, this was definitely not my play, because he kind of knows I can't really two-shot him, so he decides, as you will see here, that he just will roost up, which is a great play by him. But what I should have done probably was try to stay in, keep going for those poison jabs. Maybe I could get a crit, but still it would do around 50%. And if I can keep this Kyurem low, it might be in range from Liepard's knockoff. I think Liepard's knockoff has a chance to reach the 40%. I think it's the highest roll possible, but it still could have been potential. And Liepard still is looking nice, because I don't know the item on Golok, but I could potentially kill Golok. Sucker Punch is after rocks, I think a roll on the Mega Scizor to kill, because he's probably or not, I don't know, maybe 2 rock switch-ins, but that could have been the game plan. But yeah, I thought Nidoking has the best shot against almost his team, so I decided to go this route, and here I just go out to Liepard, hoping to make some huge ass crit. I get a crit, it doesn't really matter. He takes me out with an Ice Beam, I go out into Nidoking, and he just wins the game 4-0. He roosted, I don't know why he roosted, maybe for scouting if I was, what kind of set I was or something. he finished me off with an ice beam, and that's a good game to my great friend Dylan. So in the end we lose 4-0, and it's definitely not as bad as this as the score looked, because that Infinite had a really great chance, and I had all my cards right. I think if the scissor was not max attack element, if the scissor was not superpower, I could have won the game there. So I took the risk, and it didn't pay off for me, but I thought it was my best chance. In the end I thought, okay, I could maybe have like sacked Registeel versus the Mega Scizor, and then on some other mon, I don't know which mon, but for example the Sylveon, if he decides to switch it in to my Gardevoir, try to Memento on the Sylveon, but yeah, it was like, I don't know if I can pull the Memento into Infinite off from Ottomon, so I decided to grab my chances against the Mega Scizor, and it didn't pay off. We lost 4-0, but we're still 2-2. We will see how the rest of our division will do. But 2-2 with a -1 differential, it's not the best, it's not the worst. We'll just have to try our hardest next week. Next week we face our Commissioner Shadow, which is yeah, will definitely be a great match, and he is also in our division, so it's a really important game, and we will really definitely try to bounce back and win that game. So I think that's it for this about the game. Thanks Dylan for the great game as always. Our games are really, most of the time, really great ones, and also most of the time the score doesn't really indicate how the match went. And yeah, I will see you guys next time. There's only one thing I definitely want you guys to check out, and that's if you have seen my channel, maybe you haven't, I've got a new banner and a new icon, and I'm really happy with it. And the guy that made it for me, he's called Dead Freeze, it's his nickname. He does some really great GFX art. He has done also from some other YouTubers, and if you're ever looking into someone to do some GFX art for you, maybe like a layout for you, maybe a team logo, maybe just a banner, an icon, just hit him up, because he's a really great guy, and he's looking to improve his fan base and to explore new areas and just become more well known. And he's just a great guy, and he does some phenomenal artwork, so I definitely recommend you guys to check him out. But yeah, that's it for now guys. I will see you next week with our CPC battle, and until then, bye.